let's go through the trade and grade it, right, for each team's party. So for Milwaukee, I gave it an A plus.
Absolutely.
I think they hit an absolute home run. You finally get Giannis, that true superstar running mate. This is the best player either player have played with in their entire careers. Um, and like I said earlier, you not only showed, but you proved that you are committed to Giannis, you're
Mhm.
committed to the fans, and you're committed to the future of winning championships and competing for championships.
Absolutely. Two top 75 players.
Easy. So that's an A plus home run for the Milwaukee Bucks. Would you agree? A plus for the Milwaukee Bucks, Nick?
Absolutely, especially when the whole thing about Damian Lillard going to Miami Heat was everybody was talking about Miami's going to offload everything. For the Milwaukee Bucks to offload Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, and one other guy, like
And three first, yeah.
three guys and three firsts, like that's cake.
Well, not three. I shouldn't say three for. I don't know if those draft swaps are first rounders. They're just.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if they are.
But yeah, when it comes to stuff like I felt like Milwaukee ran away with this trade.
Yeah.
Milwaukee got the best deal, and like they gave up a little bit to get so much back in return.
Yeah, 100%. And that leads us into the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I know people are going to probably come at me, right, and say, "Oh, you're being a biased Miami Heat fan." I don't believe so at all. I think I'm being completely objective when I say this. The grade is pending currently right now, right? Because I
Absolutely.
have to see what they get for Drew Holiday. But I don't think they're going to get much for Drew Holiday. I hear people saying Miami should offer 2 firsts and Kyle Lowry. I'm
I'm
like, are
not
you
doing that.
out
I'm
of your
not.
mind, dude?
No.
Um, so I don't know about that, right? But for right now, I'm going to give them a C. And I think that's very, very fair and very solid. Let me explain why. Drew Holiday, you're not going to have on the team anymore, and I don't think you're going to get much back for him. So I'm already saying you're not getting much back for him. Maybe you get a late first round pick. What is that? That's nothing to me right now. You got DeAndre Ayton. Now everybody is apparently speaking very highly on Ayton nowadays. Yesterday, right? Do people forget the last couple of years where everybody was ragging on him? Not only the media, but his teammates and his fucking coaches were questioning his will to win during games. That happened, people. This man, who's got all the talent in the world, his will to win was being questioned. And now we're going to sit here and say, oh boy, they got DeAndre Ayton. That's a big plus. The fuck it is. And then they've got the first round pick in 2029 and 2 draft swaps. I don't know what those are. Unless Damian Lillard and Giannis are leaving Milwaukee, that 2029 first round pick is not going to be a good pick. And I don't see Giannis leaving, and I don't know if Dame is going to leave either. So I'm giving the Portland Trailblazers a C. I don't see a big win in this. I truly don't. We're going to get into the Miami Heat side of things in a little bit, where I think they honestly were going to offer maybe not a much better deal, but I do think it would have been slightly better. And I got to give them a C for that. What say you, Nick?
Honestly, I feel a little like I feel a little differently because I understand that I honestly want to give the Portland Trailblazers like a B, a B plus, because um one of the things that really stood out to me that somebody said was that yes, giving away Nurkic for Ayton is kind of like a what happened, but you're ultimately getting a new guy. You're ultimately getting a guy who wanted to be in a new system, who wanted to be in a different city, who says he's ready to play and he's ready to do something differently, and he also fits the timeline. He fits the timeline with guys like Scoot, guys like Anthony Simons, which I still think they're going to trade, by the way. Fit guys like Shaden Sharp. So you have this young core in Portland in Scoot, Shaden, Ayton, and like we also can't forget that I understand Aiden wasn't that big of a part, but Aiden also was a part of that team that went to the NBA Finals. He did have his games, and he had a lot of moments where he's shown that he could be a dominant center. He can shoot from the mid range. He can play good defensively. He can be a good lob threat. So I feel like when you're looking at it from Portland's perspective, they got the draft capital that they wanted for 5, 6, 7 years from now, which I still feel like Miami could have gave. But like when you look at the players that they got in return, I don't see why this isn't that bad. Like I said, Ayton fits the timeline. Ayton's definitely gonna fit the young and gun like
Yeah.
way that they're gonna play.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. I feel
Eh,
like for them, I give them a B plus.
Yeah.
And like you said, it all depends on what they get back for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part too. And again, I don't think it's going to be anything great. That's why I give him a C.
I think Tyler Hero would have went for a lot more.
I think Tyler Hero, because I mean, if we were to believe the reports, Utah and Brooklyn were interested in giving a first round pick, and neither of those teams are going to be incredibly great. So that's going to be a pretty damn good first round pick, unless they give up, another first rounder that they have from a good team, right? I don't know that,
Yeah.
but the reason, listen, I've been probably the biggest defender of DeAndre Ayton on this show, to be honest with you, Nick.
Mm.
But it's just too many times, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I ain't going to get fooled again.
Mm.
And that's really what it is with DeAndre Ayton. I don't care what you say anymore. Actions speak louder than words to me. I'm a big person on actions. And if I see multiple times teammates like Devin Booker, CP3, coaches and Monty Williams come to you during games and it's caught on mic questioning your will to win, do you even want to do this? You're not the player for me. You're not the player I want on my team. You're not the player I want near my team. And that's just really what it is. I don't think a change of scenery is going to change that. I think at the end of the day, DeAndre Ayton is who DeAndre Ayton is. He is a very, very skilled player. He's got all the talent in the world. Is he more talented than Nurkic? Sure. I'll take Nurkic over Ayton, to be honest with you right now, because I think I believe his want to win and his drive is going to be better than what DeAndre Ayton is going to give me. And I can't have somebody who I'm looking over there and we're about to go into war basically. And I question if you're going to have my back at the end of the day. I can't have that, and I will not have that. So that's why that's a big drawback for me with DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
And finally, the sneaky little fucks, the Phoenix Suns came in here, and I'm giving them an A because I think that they fucking stole the show. They came in here and got a steal, Nick. All they gave up was DeAndre Ayton, who they wanted out anyway, and a no-name second rounder, no offense, and they received Nurkic, who I just got finished saying I would rather have him over Ayton.
As long as he's healthy.
Yes. And more depth at the guard and forward position. A guy in Grayson Allen, who, like you said earlier, isn't this elite caliber defender, but he's a scrapper and he's going to fight you. He's going to give you everything he's got defensively.
And he's a pretty good three-point shooter.
And he shoots threes at a very good clip. I believe it was 41% last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a freaking steal, man. I don't know where the Suns are getting this money from, but the new owner, what's his name? Matt Ibisha, Ishibia, whatever the hell his name is. He's coming in, he's making big noise.
All I know is James Jones is the GM.
James Dolan?
James Jones.
Oh, is the GM. Oh, okay. I know him. I just the new owner I know came in last year, and he was the one that really facilitated that Kevin Durant trade because he was like, we gotta start competing for championships. So he's come in, and he's absolutely. I'm actually gonna look up his name. So Nick, what is your grade for the Phoenix Suns?
Honestly, I think you hit it the nail on the nose. I have the trade actually right here in front of me. I actually think you hit it right on the nose. I think you give them an A because, like you said, they got rid of DeAndre Ayton, who they've wanted to get rid of anyway. And then you get a guy like Yusuf Nurkic, who I'm speaking when healthy. Yusuf Nurkic is a great pick and roll player. He's a great pick and roll passer. He's starting to develop a three-point shot. He's really good on defense. And I feel like either Nurkic in the starting lineup or coming off the bench, like if you put him in that post, especially when you have shooters like Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, like that's going to be huge for them. He can pass out the post. He can, he can create looks for other guys, and it's going to be great. You get a guy like we talked about Grayson Allen earlier. pretty good, pretty decent 3-and-D player, can shoot the three ball at a high clip. He's a scrappy dude. He'll give effort on the defensive end. And one piece that not a lot of people talking about, and I know it because I was a Portland guy watching Portland all these years, and I even watched him in college when he was at UNC, is Nasir Little. I think
Yeah.
Nasir Little brings that defense that Grayson Allen doesn't bring. He can play the 3 or the 4. He can stretch the floor. He's very athletic. He's starting to get his own with the 3 ball. So I feel like what you lack in Grayson Allen is what you get in Nasir Little. And I feel like they're going to complement each other really well. And if Nas can stay healthy, I think he's definitely going to be one of those guys. He can be a 6th man or a 7th man coming off the bench. And I think he's going to be really well.
This is absolutely insane when you actually really put it into full perspective. The Phoenix Suns this year alone, and we're not even done yet. We're only in September, right?
It's not even training camp.
Earlier this year, they went out and they got Kevin Durant. His name, the owner of the team's name is Matt Ishbia, by the way. Apologies to him, billionaire. I don't want to offend him. Matt Ishbia came in and he facilitated the trade to going to get Kevin Durant. Then this offseason, he facilitates another trade and gets them Bradley Beal. Okay? And then finally, I forget where the timeline was. Then they get rid of Monty Williams and they bring in a Frank Vogel. A Frank Vogel who, I think this is how they looked at it. They said, we don't need to worry about offense. We've got Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. We don't need to worry about offense. Let's bring a defensive-minded head coach in there to get these guys to buy in defensively. And he's won a championship with the Lakers.
In recent time, yes.
Yes. And then finally, this move right here. They come in, they get rid of DeAndre, and they bring in Nurkic, they bring in Grayson Allen, and like you said, they bring in a Nasir Little and a Keon Johnson, 2 guys to give depth at the guard and forward position.
I think Keon is terrible, but okay.
He's just a body. He's a body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you need a body sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
He's a young, fresh legs body you can throw in there at certain times. I think the Suns, like I said, get an A for me. And that's the wrap up on the team